Welcome to the bitKlavier tutorials. If you don't know already, bitKlavier is a prepared digital piano developed by Dan Truman and Mike Mulshine that greatly expands the sonic possibilities of the keyboard. Hopefully these tutorials will provide insight and guidance into how to explore these possibilities. This first tutorial will explain how to download and install bitKlavier and what files the download contains. This tutorial is for Mac OS X Catalina with bitKlavier version 2.5.2. However, these instructions will be similar for other operating systems and future releases of bitKlavier. Alright, so to get bitKlavier, you should navigate to the bitKlavier website, which is bitKlavier.com, and click on the Get menu tab and choose the appropriate installer for your operating system. Since I'm on Mac, I'll choose OS X. And then you'll have to wait a few minutes for it to download. Alright, so once the file has finished downloading, you can locate it and unzip it, and then you can open the installer. And likely it'll show you a warning message from Apple. Yep, there's the warning message. So this is normal from content downloaded from the internet, but you can bypass it if you right-click on the file and then select Open. It'll override the security warning. If you're still having trouble, just look up how to open an app from an unidentified developer. So now on this screen you can just select Open, and that'll bring up the installer. And now you should simply follow the steps here, and then this will complete the installation. So now that you've downloaded and installed bitKlavier, you probably want to open it. So you can do that by navigating to your Applications folder. And you should see a new folder here labeled bitKlavier. So inside this folder, there's some of the contents of the download. This is probably the most important one. This is the bitKlavier standalone app. Many of the rest of the tutorials will explain the features of this app and how to make music in bitKlavier. And if you want to just jump in and start making music, then you can just open this app and probably start poking around and ignore the rest of this tutorial. But for those who want to dive deeper and figure out how to customize bitKlavier for their specific needs, they might be interested in what I'm about to say. So I'm just going to go through the rest of the contents of the download. You can always come back to this tutorial and use the information to suit you. So the first file we have is the README. This is a pretty short file. It just basically says you shouldn't move or rename these folders because bitKlavier needs them here and labeled properly to do its thing. The manual, this is a pretty important document. It basically explains the different features and settings of bitKlavier. So if you're not sure what changing something or pressing some button inside the app might do, you should consult this. So next we have the folders. Here's galleries. You can see it's a bunch of XML files. Essentially, you can think of a gallery as some sort of project or perhaps a document that you might save to your disk while working. A gallery is the bitKlavier equivalent. Usually you interact with galleries through the app, and that will be explained, but probably the only reason you'll need to visit this folder might be to export or import a gallery from somewhere. So the next folder is pianos, and here's where you can see XML files of pianos that you've exported. And pianos that you import will also go in this folder. And you might be wondering, what this means having different pianos, and that'll be soon explained as well. Again, you probably won't need to ever interact with this folder unless you're looking to import or export something. Okay, so the next folder is preparations. This simply contains XML files for each of the preparations. You really shouldn't need to be in this folder unless you're looking to, code your own preparation or something fun. Okay, so next we have samples. So these are the basic samples for the standard piano sound in bitKlavier. So you can see there's all these different notes, and each of them has, a number of different velocities or sort of volumes. And there's also some other sounds that, are involved when a piano hammer strikes the strings. You probably shouldn't worry about the content of this folder too much. Just know that, these are the files behind the piano in bitKlavier. So finally, we have the sound fonts folder, and this might be a folder that you actually do mess around with. So in here, we can see a bunch of sound fonts. These are the pre-installed ones. So there's drums, there's bass, there's Rhodes, there's an organ, but if you're looking to use your own sound, you can place the sound font here. So, the standard sound is obviously a piano, but there's all these different sounds that you might want to make music with. Okay, so there's one more thing that the bitKlavier download includes, and that is plugins. You can find these in your library folder. And then in the audio plugins folders. So there are 3 different plugins that bitKlavier includes. There's a VST plugin, a VST3 plugin, and an AU plugin. And which one of these you need to use will depend on how you're trying to use bitKlavier, in conjunction with some sort of DAW. And we'll provide more information on how to do this later. It's not necessary knowledge for just making music in bitKlavier. Okay, so just to summarize, this tutorial included information on how to download and install bitKlavier, and what's included in the download, including the various files that go along with the app and the plugins. Future tutorials will detail, the nitty-gritty of working in the app and how to actually make music. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching, and thank you for using bitKlavier.